Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we're bringing the latest in everything cool every single day. Today's rundown is going out to Doongie Forever, who says nothing but great news today. That was about yesterday's rundown. Thank you so much. Here we go with the new one. We want to start the rundown today with something a little bit different. I was at the Just Cause 4 event yesterday in Los Angeles. Today I'm outside because it is not raining in Vancouver, and I wanted to take advantage of that. But Just Cause 4 was a ton of fun to play. I got to speak with the developers about the title. It is a crazy game, and it doesn't take itself seriously at all, as everybody that knows Just Cause as a franchise is already aware. But Rico Rodriguez is one hell of a protagonist with, super heroic abilities and cool gadgets, grappling all over the place and zipping from one object to another, but also connecting objects together and either watching them boost into the air or slam together in some crazy huge fireball, jumping into any vehicle that you want to. It's just super fast and super fun. And honestly, I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2, which is so methodical and so slow-paced. It was almost like I drank the Grow Big potion in Alice in Wonderland all of a sudden. I was shrinking in Red Dead Redemption 2. This is just a weird analogy. But then I drank the Grow Big potion, and it was just, everything was so huge, and I kind of felt like it's going to be a toss-up between Spider-Man and Rico Rodriguez for who is the most fun character to just get around the world as at the end of the year. But Just Cause 4, crazy fun. I don't know how the whole story is going to hold together. One of the questions that I posed was, how do you create any kind of antagonist that can come anywhere close to the coolness of Rico Rodriguez? And I think that's the challenge, and hopefully that challenge is met when I play Just Cause 4. And certainly the visuals are good and the world is beautiful, but it doesn't hold a candle to the world of Red Dead Redemption 2. What a juggernaut that game is. Still, tremendous fun with Just Cause 4. And speaking of Spider-Man, just when you thought you were finished with Spider-Man, Insomniac pulls you right back in. The second of 3 DLC chapters for the new superhero adventure will land November 20th. Known as Turf Wars, the new chapter will give players new missions where they go up against the Marvel evildoer Hammerhead, an encounter that was teased in the last DLC pack. There will also be new Spidey outfits and other additional content, but that has yet to be unveiled. Looking ahead, the third and final batch of DLC is slated to land in December. I'm going to be really sad when I have to announce that this is the final batch of DLC for Spider-Man. I'm in the middle of the first batch of DLC. Now I know that I'll be playing the second batch next week or very soon after, and I can't wait to get the totality of this experience into my brain. But I don't want to stop playing this amazing Spider-Man experience. It's so fun. And I still am, booting around in my New Game Plus mode as well whenever I get a second. I'm looking at you, Red Dead. But I think Insomniac has outdone themselves this year. They've really delivered something beautiful for comic book fans and Spider-Man fans in particular. And speaking of Red Dead Redemption 2, you won't have to wait much longer to start playing the game with your friends. The beta test for the game's multiplayer component, Red Dead Online, will kick off before the end of the month. That's according to Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Rockstar's parent company Take-Two, who tells investors that the beta is slated to begin near the end of November. The beta and the final version will be available for everyone who already owns the main game, and like GTA Online, players will be able to create their own character and then join their friends to take on new multiplayer missions and participate in group activities. Here's the most interesting bit of news. Zelnick says that Rockstar is still adjusting what will be in the game and are incorporating feedback that they're receiving from the single-player campaign. That could mean that they're taking criticism about Red Dead Redemption 2 to heart and will adjust the multiplayer accordingly. We'll have to wait and see. I guess one of the things that they can kind of adjust, especially when we get into multiplayer scenarios, is some of that clunkiness with the controls. Like, I don't always feel like I'm slamming up into cover when I want to slam into cover. Sometimes Arthur Morgan will just walk over an edge or something like that and be right in the line of fire, and it's a little disconcerting, especially because I've put about 50 hours into the game already and I'm still doing that. So hopefully there's some refinements, maybe even just in the next patch. But as we move into multiplayer, people are not going to be so forgiving if there's stumbles and bumbles as we're trying to stay out of the shot, and not get shot in the face. I think Red Dead Online is going to be very interesting because Grand Theft Auto Online gives you an almost endless array of different ways to approach things. And I'm finding with Red Dead, even in the single player campaign, because of the technology that was available in the era that's crafted for us there's a limitation sort of built in. You know you're going to be escaping on horseback or in a carriage, and your gun is not going to be a machine. Like, there are times when it's like, I really wish I had a grenade right now, or some kind of machine gun type thing that I could run with. And I don't know what they're going to do with what players are going to want or expect out of the online experience, but it's going to be interesting to see for sure. And I'll tell you one thing, it's going to look amazing. And speaking of DLC, Square Enix is scaling back their plans for Final Fantasy XV. They've canceled 3 of the 4 upcoming DLC packs for the game. It was supposed to get new story content focusing on the characters Urania, Lunafreya, Noctis, and Ardyn, but now the only new pack we'll get is the one focusing on Ardyn. It will land in March. Square Enix has also announced that Final Fantasy XV director Hajime Tabata has resigned from the company after more than 15 years, citing personal reasons. It's pretty ominous that this is all happening at the same time, and Square Enix hasn't provided an official reason for the scaling back of the DLC. I guess that can only mean that the player base isn't really huge for this thing right now. People have moved on. They're playing Fortnite. Everybody's playing. Got to get off of that Fortnite. Go back to Final Fantasy 15, everybody. I don't know what's going on, but it's not great news for big, huge fans of Final Fantasy 15. I loved the main game. I thought it was awesome, but yeah, like a lot of people out there, I've moved on to play a lot of other things. You know, I hope Square Enix fans and fans of Final Fantasy 15 are okay with all of this news as well. At least we get a little bit more to look forward to, right? The giant robots of Pacific Rim are heading to the small screen thanks to Netflix. The streaming giant is creating an anime series based on the Giant Robots vs. Giant Monsters movie franchise. Like the films, it will see what else? Giant Jaeger robots fighting giant alien monsters and causing loads of destruction in the process. Netflix announced the project as part of a big slate that includes several new anime shows, including an animated Altered Carbon series based on their original sci-fi show. This is great. I'm digging the kind of risky choices that Netflix is doing. They're one of the biggest content providers on Earth, if not the biggest. So they've got to try all kinds of cool things. And when I saw the second Pacific Rim film, I thought, Jesus, this would be a great show. This would be perfect fodder for a continuous kind of coming, almost like a wrestling series, you know, where you get the giant robot and you get the giant monster fighting each other on a regular basis. I've dug what I've seen from Netflix's anime stuff, most recently with Castlevania. I think they're doing some really good things over there. I'm psyched for that, and I'm also psyched for Altered Carbon as an animated show, too. I thought there were lots of great ideas in the live-action show, but it borrowed so heavily, and you became a little bit numb by the fact that it was like the bodies meant nothing, you know? So it was really hard to kind of hang your hat on who you did care about in that show, even though there was tons of great work, and I know there's more of the live-action show coming as well, but there was a really detailed and defined world that was crafted for Altered Carbon, which is great material for the animators to mine, and I think that would be great. It'd be also great if Netflix was going to do an animated Blade Runner thing, just saying, but I guess they can't now because they got Altered Carbon, which borrows so liberally from Blade Runner. All right, that's going to do it for our rundown today. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new episode. In the meantime, click around and watch some of the other content that we've made. And if you dig it, hit subscribe. You can hit that little bell. And don't forget that you can also join and become an EPN member. And if you dig the EPN brand and want to support us, you can find our merch on our merch landing page on our website, epn.tv/merch. Thanks for watching, everybody. Play forever.